ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ ਐਨਡੀਪੀ ਦੀ ਆਗੂ ਐਂਡਰੀਆ ਹੌਰਵਿਥ ਨੇ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਮੁਹਿੰਮ ਰੈਲੀ ਕੀਤੀ। ਉਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਐਨਡੀਪੀ ਆਗੂ ਜਗਮੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਅਤੇ ਸੂਬਾਈ ਉਮੀਦਵਾਰ ਸਾਰਾ ਸਿੰਘ, ਐਂਡਰੀਆ ਬੈਰੇਟ ਅਤੇ ਗੁਰਰਤਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਵੀ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਹੋਏ। ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਟਿੱਪਣੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੌਰਵਿਥ ਨੇ ਘੋਸ਼ਣਾ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜੇਕਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਬਣਦੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਦੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਦੂਜੇ ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ ਡਿਸੇਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਭੁਗਤਾਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੁੱਗਣਾ ਕਰੇਗੀ।
I was almost in a little bit of teary-eyed shape when I heard Jagmeet's words this afternoon, because he's right. 11 years ago, we worked together to build an orange wave here in the Peel region. Started with you. It all started with you. You helped people feel seen. You helped people feel heard in a way that they never had been before. You proved that hard work and a real commitment to helping people can do great things. And it feels so right, Jagmeet, that you're here now, when we turn all of Brampton, all of Peel, orange. Young people able to get a top-notch education at a world-class university right here in Brampton. A brighter future for the next generation with more opportunity, less debt, and a healthier planet. Thriving local small businesses, jobs that pay the bills, auto insurance rates that are 40% cheaper and that don't discriminate based on your postal code, and a booming local economy that helps everyday folks prosper. Families walking to the masjid or the gurdwara or the synagogue without fear, without anxiety, knowing that they're safe and they're valued. 3 fully funded hospitals with 3 full emergency rooms and a world-leading cancer center right here in Brampton. Great healthcare finally, that's there when you need it, with shorter wait times. That's what you deserve. And the peace of mind that comes with knowing that your dad, for example, can afford his prescription. Your daughter can get that cavity filled, and your brother can get the mental health supports he needs without worrying about how much it all costs.
And thank you both for all the work you've done to fight for a more livable, affordable, and equitable city and province. This election, there's a lot at stake for people. The past 2 years have been hard on everyone, especially here in Brampton. The cost of living just keeps shooting up. Even if you and your partner have a good job with benefits, families are still paying thousands of dollars a year for the big things. Auto insurance, prescriptions and dental care, child care, hydro, and the rent or the mortgage. People need support, and they needed it for a long time. We just can't afford to wait for another 4 years, because we've all spent the last 4 years fighting every day to push back against Doug Ford and his Conservatives as they break the things we all count on and refuse to give people, everyday people, the support they deserve, all while his buddies and insiders benefit. On all the things that matter the most to Brampton families, Doug Ford has told us, you're on your own. Every time we've proposed taking real action to give Brampton the 3 full hospitals we deserve, Doug Ford's Conservatives shot it down. They voted against fully funding Brampton Civic to end the painful waits and hallway medicine. They voted against making Peel Memorial a full hospital with a 24/7 ER and 850 new beds. And they voted against building a new 3rd hospital. Shame, shame. Of course, Doug Ford and his Conservatives are just not working for everyday people and families here in Brampton or anywhere else. But it doesn't have to be this way. Because in 19 days, we got a chance to elect a leader that is working for you. Andrew Horvath is working for you. His kindness, his empathy, and his courage have inspired me and helped guide me my whole life. And every day he goes to work fighting to make life better for everyday families, including holding Justin Trudeau's feet to the fire to negotiate a new national dental care plan the biggest expansion in Canadian healthcare since New Democrats delivered Medicare to Canadians 6 years ago.
You know, being here in Brampton for me is really special. This is where I started. I have such a special place in my heart for all of you, and that's why I feel like we've got some unfinished business to do. You know, here in Brampton, we saw 16 years of Liberals, 4 years of Conservatives, and has our life gotten any better? All the things that we care about actually got worse. It's harder to find a home that you can afford. It's harder to pay the bills. And auto insurance bills, have they gone down? They keep on climbing. And 16 years of Liberals, 4 years of Conservatives have only made it worse. But I got something to tell you, friends. We can do something about that. We can do something about it by electing New Democrats into government. You know, what we're seeing in this province is a government that consistently, Doug Ford consistently and pretty blatantly and obviously wants to help out his wealthy friends, and it ends up hurting you and your families, and that's wrong. You know, I can't wait till June 2nd, because we're not just going to elect all these incredible candidates as MPPs, we're going to elect them into a government that's for the people, by the people, fighting for what you need. You know, fundamentally, at the core of who we are as New Democrats is we believe that we got to take care of each other, that we are better off, we are stronger when we lift one another up. Do you agree? And the person that's going to lead the way for us here in Ontario, the person that I always call my boss because she was my boss for a long time, and she tells me, I'm not your boss anymore, it's okay. And I say, I know, but I still love you so much. Andrea is someone who took me in when I started and heard me out. When I told her that Brampton was struggling, she said, you know, what can we do? And I said, I got to fight auto insurance companies. She said, okay, let's do that. She backed me up every step of the way, and she backed up Brampton every step of the way. You know, I wouldn't be here today. Honestly, I wouldn't be here today as a national leader of the New Democratic Party if it wasn't for Andrea. She is someone who cares deeply about people. Every step of the way, whenever there's a question, she always puts people first. You know, I trust her. As Premier of this province, she will make sure you and your families get the help you need. I trust her so much. I know she'll do it. And I also want to let you know, people call Andrea the Steel Town Scrapper, and that comes from a deep place of love. She cares about people. She's got so much compassion, and she feels the pain that people are going through. I'm so excited that we can elect Andrea as our Premier, we can form a New Democrat government, and we can really get to work on the things that matter for all of you.
We'd like to take the opportunity to start things off in a good way and begin by acknowledging that today we're gathering on the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederation, the Huron-Wendat, and Wendat Nations, on lands protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. On behalf of everyone here today, we want to thank those nations for their care and stewardship over this shared land. Today and every day, let's renew our commitment as Ontarians and Canadians to honor the treaties. Together, we need to keep working to build strong, equitable partnerships with Indigenous peoples. Partnerships that are based on respect, cooperation, and action to make people's lives better and build stronger communities across Ontario.
If you're joining us virtually today, please take time to recognize the traditional and treaty territory that you're on. Recognizing the land is one way we express appreciation to those whose territory we reside on, and honor Indigenous peoples who have been living on, caring for, and defending these lands for thousands of years. Now, before we go any further, let's hear it for the incredible musicians.